you remember horses? Those 900 kilogram bags of meat that people used to use as transport back in the day. Some people do still occasionally use them now. Well, how times have moved on, because today I'm in a car, an internal combustion engine powered car, and that's this, the Kia Picanto. Weighs the same as a large horse, 900 kilos, yet is 64 times more powerful, and it will do 96 miles an hour. All while keeping you in a nice warm bubble of air, protected from the elements. All that comes out the exhaust is a bit of burnt petrol and not piles of dung. I suppose really I ought to compare this car to its contemporaries. On paper, I think it's a great example of a modern, efficient, small car because it's tiny. You know, it's 3.5 meters long, which makes it smaller than a Nissan Micra, but it has back doors as standard, so you can fit people in the back. In a car parking bay, you'll see that this car is probably the size that cars are meant to be, or were, back when those bays were designed, because next to an average-sized modern car that, you know, people are driving today, this thing looks minuscule. Yet, inside, it's quite spacious. I'm 6 foot tall, I've got headroom above me, although most of my height is in my legs, which I have got the seat all the way back. So it's the first car I've ever driven, actually, I think, that I've had to have the seat as far back as it'll go. So if you're taller than 6 foot and you're considering one of these, check that out first. I had my brother sit in this car just as a joke because he's 6'5", and, well, it was pretty funny. Touch.
I don't know if that's right.
Yeah. And with it being a small, narrow car, it's easy to drive, it's easy to place in town. It's got nice light steering, it's got a crisp gear change. The throttle's a bit sensitive, so that gets a bit of getting used to. I'm not a big fan of that, and I just thought it was this old car, but apparently it did that from new. It's got a 9-meter turning circle, so I can just turn around and go back into this road. Just, you know, those blocky speed bumps where you can kind of straddle those just about if you get it perfectly right. Now, not all small cars can do that. Some of them feel like you're going up and over them. In third gear, you can kind of hear the transmission whine. I don't know whether it's like drive shafts or gearbox or what. The little whoop, 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 whoop. Like a Formula E car when you can hear all of its workings. It will also do 55 miles per gallon, which is not to be sniffed at. In many cases in the UK, it's just £35 a year to tax. The insurance group is obviously very low. It's a perfect town car. The ride quality is quite nice in town. It's relatively smooth. This car is a 5-speed manual, which most of them were, but it was available with an automatic gearbox as well, which was a torque converter, the kind of automatic gearbox that you want. Now, they're not quite as economical as some of the fancy new gearboxes, but what they are is far more reliable. Where this car is not quite so at home is once you get it onto the open road. Now, as you can hear, the wind noise and the road noise has increased, which, you know, you'd expect from a small car like this. What it is not is a good handler. It's really quite hilariously roly-poly around the corner. It's probably the poliest car I've driven in a long time. It just doesn't feel safe if you try and take this car around a corner quickly. It does have a dashboard that's angled towards me, like an E46 BMW 3 Series. Most sporting credentials it's got, really. 1.1 litre, which is the biggest engine. I mean, it takes 17 million years to get to the red line, and that was slightly downhill as well. I will add at this point, I'm not abusing somebody's car because this is actually my car. I have not gone mental. I just got this car for a reasonable price and kind of saved it from scrap. It feels nippy around town. That performance is not so bad. It's not particularly settled on the motorway. Obviously the RPM is quite high. In 2007 they facelifted the Picanto and you got what this car looks like. They made it look a little bit more modern. It looks quite good at the front, actually. It looks kind of cute. The original car looked a bit more sort of basic, standard, kind of Korean Japanese design, whereas this one, although it still has that same shape, it looks a little bit more modern, more interesting. In black it's good because the bits of trim and things on the boot and various other things are black, so it all blends together and looks quite smart. For the facelift as well, they moved the indicator stalk to the side that you would expect it to be, which is in the UK on the left hand side. They did have it on the right hand side, which I know from experience driving cars like that, you always end up putting the wipers on by accident. This Picanto, which by the way derives from picante, which means spicy in Italian or Spanish, is the Strike model. It's a higher spec car. That means it's got air conditioning. It's got electric windows up front. It's got a rev counter. Now, you didn't get a rev counter as standard in this car, although you did get a nice CD player. They put the MP3 CD player in to do away with the 6-disc changer. I don't know if anyone remembers CDs or MP3s, but meant you could get a lot of tracks on one disc. The Strike model also has a height adjustable seat. The seat is actually quite comfortable. I've been driving around a while now and I still feel fine. But it is, of course, a very basic car, even with all of its optional equipment. It does come with things like a rear wash wiper. You've got intermittent windscreen wiper settings, a little trip computer with how many miles you've done, a clock, rear fog light, which you have to have on a car. And on this car, somebody stuck a little bit of plastic to the fog light button because it seems to get stuck in. And I had no idea what that was until I realised you have to kind of pull that bit of plastic out to turn the fog light off. It has been through the wars slightly, this car. It's also got the manual mirrors you can actually see the inner workings of because the casing has been smashed off at some point. This ridiculously massive bottle actually fits in one of the cup holders because this car, not bad for practicality up front. You have a big cup holder here, you have two little ones in front and then a little cubby hole in front of that. You've got a glove box and then a little sort of shelf above the glove box, as well as two little door pockets. Space here to the right of the steering wheel. I've got little mirrors in the sun visor so you can do your makeup. Climate controls below, just heat, and then position of air, how fast you want it, and whether you want it to come in the cabin or recirculate around the car, and that's it. There's an air conditioning button, which I don't think works in this car anymore. You apparently get a reach adjustable steering wheel, but I cannot get this thing to unlock and move. It seems to be just jammed shut. Presumably back in the day you could move the steering wheel around. What's the back like, buddy? Well, back here it's not for adults. You've got headroom but not legroom. My legs are kind of round the side of JJ's seat here. Although I think my head would fly off through the back window if there was an accident, because this headrest doesn't go any higher than that. But, you know, for kids, if you were down here like this, that'd be all right. Windy keep fit windows, even in this Strike model. I have to move my knee out of the way to do it. How fast you can do it. Weirdly, I don't have a pocket on the seat in front of me, but I do. There is one on the passenger side. Where this car kind of is a bit better is that you can fold these seats down 60-40 split flat. These seats here actually pull out and lift up so that the seats go flat. And you can store, there's little storage places in there for things like drugs and stuff. You could definitely smuggle various things in this car quite easily, and then no one would even look, would they? Because it's just a little old car, and who's gonna check it for drugs? You do have a boot, which is not massive, but obviously if you fold the seats down, then this car does become a lot more spacious. Towards the end of its run in 2010, when this car was built, Kia were adding a 7-year warranty to all their cars, and that was telling you what they thought about the longevity and reliability of these cars, because they wouldn't give you that warranty if they thought they were going to have to shell out for lots of repairs. The Picanto is quite a reliable car. You know, it's very basic, simple engine and simple suspension. You can service this car yourself. The air filter in the engine, for example, which costs £8, it's like a Tupperware container box. You just pop it open, replace the filter, pop it shut again. Cabin filter I managed to buy for £1.80 for a cabin filter, which just fits in behind the glove box. And then I bought spark plugs, which were all of about £2 each. You only need 4 of them. I really do quite like small cars. It's really enjoyable because it's not an expensive car. I don't have to worry about where I park it either. Whereas if I'm driving the CLK around, I always park it as far away as possible in the car park, and then people still park next to it anyway, and you have that endless concern that it's going to get scratched or whatever. And with this car, it's all good. I don't mind. It's got a few scratches on it anyway. One thing that I think this car is lacking in a little bit is character. Now I know that's subjective, and I always used to find that annoying when people said cars don't have character, but if you compare this car to, say, a Nissan Micra K12 of the time, the sort of frog-shaped car, that had like a pretty cool interior and a kind of weird exterior, which if you liked it, I think it's quite cool. They were fun cars, they were fun to drive, and this car, it's not especially fun to drive. It looks very ordinary, apart from its cute little facelift face. It's good for what it does. It's a spacious and practical and economical and small and efficient car, but that Euro NCAP safety rating is not great for if you're going to, do long journeys in this car. But if you can get one of these for cheap, then why not? I think it'd make a great first car or a great little runabout.
Oh yes, I was talking about horses, wasn't I? Well, the Picanto is better than a horse, but worse than a Nissan Micra. Thanks for watching.